What do you see as the future of the game? What are you excited for?
Oh man. In D&D itself,
I think it's more just like role playing games. Like
role playing
not
game.
everybody's gonna play. Like you play
Yeah,
sci-fi games, you can play whatever. But
sure,
it's more like what's the
absolutely.
future of like role playing?
You know, it's honestly, it's this is the day and age where people have, I think, you have that core group of friends, and so, I mean, everybody's got their core group of friends, but like, I feel like this is that level of group of friends that's going to stick together and they're going to play together, um and I think there's going to be some long-term friendships with people that are formed because of this and because we're able to play online. And
Mm,
that simply, online didn't exist when I was a kid,
yeah,
and playing online definitely didn't come until much later. So
yeah,
the fact that, hey, my buddy moved out to California, oh well, I guess I'll never see him again, or we're just going to play on Zoom or Discord or whatever. And that's the fact that it's easier now to play online than you could ever do. Yeah, I mean, that keeps it alive, obviously. And
yes,
then when you do actually get together at a convention like Gen Con or any of these cons, you're even more excited to see each other because you've been keeping in touch, and it's not that, you know
yeah. And you can schedule. I mean, you can schedule any night of the week or whatever. It doesn't matter.
yeah,
And you can try games that nobody that like real niche games that if you didn't have online, you'd never find somebody to play with you.
absolutely, yeah, yeah, because it's just opened to not
Yes,
just hundreds of thousands but millions of people. And
exactly.
they're gonna, it's you're gonna find that niche market or that group of friends that's gonna want to play
Want to play like Mech
anytime.
Warrior Destiny or something random.
Right, right. I mean, it happens already. You look at
Yeah,
Star Wars Battlefront, something like that, where it's an online game and you can just, I mean, there's
yeah.
thousands of online games where you just drop in at any moment. Now, of
Play.
course, Dungeons and Dragons, a little more commitment of time. You know,
Yes.
you could, because most of
Well,
those games are like 30 minutes or less.
there's a
But
lot of tabletop games that turned into basically video games like Mech Warrior, not
mhm,
Mech Warrior, BattleTech. It's called.
right.
Uh, I, there's got to be some Warhammer stuff as well. Warhammer
Oh yeah.
40,000. I'm not. I play Mech Warrior some or BattleTech. Not Mech Warrior.
Mhm.
BattleTech is a tabletop strategy game, and there's a game. The game video game is very similar to the
Yeah,
tabletop game. You can just jump in
absolutely.
and play somebody whenever. Except it's a lot
Yeah.
faster because you don't have to do all the math.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, that missile just goes.
Yeah,
But
very
yeah,
very
I
math
mean, I
heavy.
think that's the future. I mean, we're right at that part where, and honestly, I have to say that maybe COVID pushed gaming. It was already there, right? There was already
Yes.
people playing on D20, or Roll 20, people playing on Discord. They're already doing it,
Mm,
but suddenly it was like now it's necessary.
yes.
So I think it really pushed it. I mean, I was talking about doing I was like talking to my D&D buddies and all of the performers at the Ren Fair about doing a D&D show
Mm,
for a couple of years and saying, oh, it wouldn't be cool to like every festival that I go to, we play, and then we could even like hang out at the Ren Fair buildings and play, and because they're basically a set,
yes.
and we could be like, oh, we have our own set, we could just play there, and been talking about that for years and never really did it because it wasn't really, you
So
know
it's just no need. Like it's effort to do it. You don't have
yeah.
to, and whatever. I mean,
And it's
that's
like,
the
oh,
reason why
I need
big,
cameras, I need
big,
mics.
exactly. Big impetus to start this group is me and some other people were like forced to play online. Or like, wait, this isn't that good. Like there's because I'm a software engineer, like I said.
Mhm.
I get on there and I'm like, oh, where's a tool to do X? I'm like, oh, no one built that. Why the hell? Like,
Why
that's
is it
something.
that? Yeah,
Why doesn't it exist? Like, that's something you need for every game. It doesn't exist. And I'm
right.
like, I'm like, I can't believe nobody's built this. Like, I just can't believe it. So we're talking about it. And we're like, we should create a group, and and
Right.
like people should, like we were talking about, oh, paid DMing. That's like the future. So let's create a group for it and let's help people do it because it's the
Yeah.
future. And
I feel like there's an interesting thing about the paid DM thing. I mean, again, being a DM forever, and I've run live action games, and you get paid at a convention, right?
Yeah.
And so for some reason that was always a paid thing. Like you got to pay 10, 15 bucks, 20 bucks, whatever it was
Mhm.
to to be part of the live action role playing game that was inside of a convention. But regular tabletop, that was not a thing you got paid for. And
Yeah.
there was this, very anti, you know,
Stigmatism.
yeah, it's like what, but I find it's interesting that I don't know, maybe it's kind of part of the whole. I don't know if it's either just everyone's kind of got used to playing a video game and not having to DM because the computer DMs for you,
Yeah.
and then they're like, well, we want to actually play a more wild game with
People.
maybe less rules or something, but
Yeah.
uh,
Well,
and
there's
they're like, well, you need a person for that, so
yeah, and it takes work to have a good DM. Like you're takes skill, takes work. I mean, anybody could,
absolutely.
like, I started when I was a teenager like anybody else, and it's like the we sucked, right? We didn't know the rules. Nobody really read the rule books. They just skimmed them, and we sucked right? At DMing. Like we didn't. It wasn't
Right,
interesting. It was like there's some orcs. What do you do? Fight them. Oh,
right.
you killed the orc that was supposed to give you the quest. Oh well, game over. Right? And it was like literally
Yeah,
stuff like that
I
happened. I'm not even joking.
yeah, I
Uh,
mean, that's great. Yeah, he had actually all the answers, but now he's dead.
yeah, so your game's
God love
over.
him.
Literally, I had a friend do that to me. Like that's it, game's over. You shouldn't
Oh my
kill
gosh.
everybody.
I don't know if I. Yeah. Anyway,
I mean, you're talking about teenagers, right?
right.
It's always
I
start another game.
I had the murder hobo friends. We were all teenagers, so of
Yeah,
course that's the thing. That's I was like, why are they murder hobos? It's like, oh right, because when you like the first time you get to be an adult, you get to act, you get to be an adult. You're a character that is an adult who's got a sword and
yep,
you can use it or you can fireball somebody. Like, yeah, you're gonna.
yep,
Like, of course you are.
yep.
So like, but I said I started playing like birthday parties, and where you set up a scenario and it's a few hours, and the thing is like kids today they'll only have a core group of friends that are 5 or 6 people, and it's
Mm,
literally the perfect amount of people to run a game for,
yep.
and I think that's been great. And I'm like, why are these all murder hobos? But yeah, it's like right because they're
So
teenagers.
yeah, they're
Yeah,
teenagers. But that was my friend's way of teaching us not to kill everything, right? He's like, oh, game's over. You
right.
roll characters. You just
And
kill
that's the
the
thing. You only
quest
start
giver.
doing that as a nuanced dungeon master when you
Yep,
start to realize that the world is bigger, right?
yep,
And so you start expanding that world, and you're like, well, where's the town guard? Where did like you
yep.
can steal from this guy, but he still exists when you're gone. It's like,
Yeah,
so,
exactly. Yeah, I'm running a game right now where they're every quest giver is not a good guy, and so they're doing quests for
right?
these people, and they realize, wait, this person's screwed up, and they're like, I think the least screwed up person is this guy.
That's
Like
awesome.
they got to the point where they realized that everybody that's doing this stuff is not a good guy.
Right.
They're like, they're like,
Oh, that's
do we
great.
actually want to do what this person says?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so it puts him in the situation. It's like I don't know. It's like kind of like it's not Game of Thrones, but it's like kind of a nasty, like Game of Thrones type thing where nobody's good. Like,
Hmm.
so choose who you want to work for
Right. They're all good in the
in their own
respect that
mind.
they're doing the thing that should be good for them.
Yes. Yeah. Like one guy's a religious fanatic. One guy's he runs a mercenary company. All he cares about is eradicating. He wants to eradicate the Thieves Guild. That's all he cares about.
Right.
And he'll do anything necessary to do that. He doesn't care.
Nice.
And then the Thieves Guild wants to foment revolt for the underprivileged and kill everybody who's
Yeah.
at the
Who's
top. So
right?
he's the bad guy here, right?
Oh, that's great. Yeah. I love the nuanced, and again, that's that whole thing where you got to set it up as you got to give them the information. So you can't just you know, when you were a teenager, you just set up. My players would have been thrilled to just have a never-ending hallway that you just
Fight.
went straight down and fought monsters and until you
Yes,
got a snack and then came back, you know, like
exactly.
it's like, yeah, now that's not so much, you know, that's not what we're after anymore. So